Hello, hello. Happy Wednesday. Looks like I am going live here, being redirected. All right, we are live, and welcome to my Wednesday Wisdom and Wellness, coming on a bit later than usual. And if you've been following my story, you'll know that it's because I've been baking some potatoes and I did not want to burn out the house. So, that said, today I wanted to talk about something that I actually feel like I've talked about before, and really it came about more than it. I'm trying to make sure that Facebook, let me see where you at. I don't know where the live is in case people comment. If you hear me, see me, please wave or give me a thumbs up. Let's see, where is this? There we go. Okay, looks like yes, confirming. Looks like we are live. Okay, so back at it here. Anyhow, so today was interesting. Last night, the plans kind of changed with our schedule, our volleyball today, and one of the things that everybody keeps talking about is the weather. The weather. There's supposed to be more rain this week, and also with my birthday coming up on Saturday, it keeps showing 50% rain and all these things. And I've been having lots of questions about, well, what are you going to do, and this and that. And honestly, what came to me and why I wanted to share this is I don't do the plan B. I actually just shared a post about this earlier as well. I just don't. Like, for me, I don't believe that the weather predicts, really. To me, yes, it's an estimate of what it may be like, but it's constantly shifting. And there's been many times where we have in the past, I have followed the weather for my day and planned it that way, and then come to find out it wasn't what the forecast said it would be. And so, how I live my life now, I really live it by, let's just take it moment by moment, because we never know. Even though right now, for instance, it's showing it's supposed to be raining. It's like 90% rain and there's not one single raindrop outside, right? So I know this is such a small topic talking about the weather, but just be here with me for a second. Just hear me out. Rain is just the topic, right? It's really, it comes down to there is nothing predictable out there. Like, no one can predict anything, whether it is a forecast, right? There's can be estimates. There's going to be an estimate. I'm sure there's all kinds of technology involved. And as many of you know, it's never right on 100% of the time. That said, I always talk about this also when it comes to prognoses. That's something that I'm passionate about. It's what inspired me to do what I do now, which is I'm an empowerment health coach. For those of you that don't know who I am and are recently joining me or following me, my name is Anuschka Alborzian, by the way. I also do energy healing. I got into this because of the prognosis that was given to me. I got inspired to shift my entire career around and start to really dive into another career, and that's to empower others and really share with people that prognosis is, to me, my belief, prognosis is bullshit. That's just how I see it, because prognosis is a way to predict a future for someone, an individual that has unique fingerprints, unique DNA, by the way, and it's all based on statistics of other individuals when none of us are alike. There is a reason why they're like, let's get your fingerprint, because that is your unique you. Even if you're a twin, an identical twin, you're going to have different fingerprints, which that in itself tells me you cannot predict my future by stats from someone else. Okay, so that is one of my biggest passions. As you can tell, I get very passionate as soon as I start speaking about it, and it is why I do what I do. Really, what I look at this is like, hey, that's a stat. That's a worst case scenario, right? And I don't subscribe to that. Like I said, I posted about this not too long ago, and I really felt like, hey, this is not something I was going to talk about today, by the way. I live life moment by moment, and what I'm inspired to do, I'm inspired to, like, I wasn't planning on baking potatoes, but I got inspired to do it for whatever reason. I was like, hey, intuitive cooking, and all of a sudden I'm cooking, right? That's how I've been living life. And it actually brings me so much more joy, because at this point, I can say I'm going to get XYZ and blah, blah, blah done. And then when it comes down to it, not to say I'm not going to get these done, but when it comes down to that moment, it may start to feel like it's forced rather than it's something that I wanted to do and inspired to do it. So I may end up not doing XYZ, but I may end up doing one, two, three. And then when I get that, my dog just totally distracted me. And when I do get inspired, then I take on that X, Y, or Z. I have the whole list. I have everything. I have my integrity list. I have my brain dump list, which I'm sure I've talked about at some point or another. And if you are having any questions around this, please feel free to ask me. But really, what it comes down to is taking those inspired actions and doing so from a like my actual title says, plan A's only. Doing so with just that plan A, no plan B. To me, again, that's not something that I live by. And I get it. Sometimes people are like, oh, well, what if, like everybody right now, what if it's going to rain on Saturday for your birthday? We're doing an outdoors thing, right? At the park. And I'm like, we'll figure it out then. My thing is, I don't have the attachment. I'm still going to envision the best case scenario. I'm going to envision the sun just taking over Saturday because it did for Friday. It was supposed to rain Friday, and now the forecast saying it's going to be sunny. Sunday, same thing, right? So for me, I'm just like, I'm going to just keep holding that. And if it rains, maybe it'll just be a little sprinkle here and there. And that's fine, right? And I'm not going to sit here and change my plans based on something that's giving me a 50% chance, where I'm going to look at it as half cup full, not half cup empty, which by that, what I'm saying is I'm going to go for it's not going to rain. And if it does, we figure it out then. I don't believe in plan Bs. I don't believe in looking at the worst case scenarios because that's what you're putting out into the universe. And by doing so, guess what you're going to create in your life? You're giving those mixed signals out there. And that's not what I live by. And this is what I share with people as well, is really just to look at it and really start to see that, hey, when I'm creating a plan B, I'm already saying that I have doubt in plan A. What does that say? What are you sending off to the universe? What are you sending if you're at this point, I feel like everybody knows law of attraction. By saying that, by thinking it even, what is that bringing back to you? So you got to really look at that. And that's why I don't believe in plan Bs. Not saying things don't shift, things do. So I'm all about that no attachment, being flexible and allowing things to shift with ease, because if obstacles do come up, then it was probably not meant to be anyway. And something even better beyond what I can even imagine right now in this moment may end up coming about. And that's what I personally subscribe to. And that's my belief. Because when we have any doubt of any kind, guess what that does? That doubt, literally, it trumps any faith you have. It trumps any dreams you have. It can kill it. It really does. Because you're, again, sending out mixed signals. You're saying, oh, I really, really want this, and this is my dream. Oh, and then having all this doubt of how it's going to work out, right? That also goes people that pray, right? I've had a client, I've shared about this as well, and she would say, I pray all day and night, but yet she has a lot of anxiety and has a lot of doubt. Well, guess what? When you're doing that, when you're sending all these prayers out, but behind it, underneath it, the feeling is doubt, might as well not pray, because that's not going to make a difference. Because in that moment, you're giving a mixed signal out. You're saying, yes, please, this, that, yet you don't even believe that it's going to happen. That is the key, is really going all in. And I get it. Some people think I'm woo woo and all that stuff, but I don't care. That's why I live a magical lifestyle. And that's why things always work out for me, even if it doesn't work the way I want it to. At the end, it always works out. And that's why I'm sharing this. Let go of those plan Bs. Go all in, jump all in to that plan A. Jump in, both feet. Don't wait for that next shoe to drop or whatever that saying is. Don't have one foot in, one foot out. Be all in. What's the worst that can happen to you? You're not going to die. I mean, unless you're like jumping off like a, I don't know, cliff without a bungee cord or something. Overall, though, when you're doing these different tasks that feel uncomfortable, when you take on things in your life that just feels uncomfortable, that's all it is. It's just this uncomfortable feeling because it's something you've never done. It's the unknown. So that's why it's all about jumping all in, even when you're feeling uncomfortable, and not having a plan B, not looking at that worst case scenario. What's the best case scenario? Because if the worst case scenario, maybe if the worst case scenario is death, like literally, like if you're going somewhere and it's like, hey, I may get shot, maybe you got to think about that, right? I really would say, though, overall, look at life in terms of I have a plan. And when it comes down to it, if things don't go that way, so be it. I'll be ready to get flexible and shift. No attachment. A plan A with no attachment is the way to go. So, as I posted, I invite you all this next week to really take this on. Let go of those plan Bs. Let go of those worst case scenarios. Let go of media because that in itself is, for the most part, bad news. That's usually what I relate to when it comes to media. Like bad news, it's never really good news. And typically you see worst case scenarios. Like what I posted, like I said, if you go and read what it says about the wind and oh my God, don't leave the house, avoid leaving your house, stay in the lower levels. And okay, I get it. That can happen. Honestly, we went out there, we played, maybe not as much, but we played and we had a blast. Had we listened to this predictable forecast, we would have just not even left the house. And what kind of life is that? So, this is again my personal perspective, which works really great for me and many of those that also subscribe to this, which is why I'm inviting you all to take this on for yourself. Let go of a plan B, let go of worst case scenarios. Really just look at that plan A, go all in, and envision that best case scenario with no attachment and see what that provides you in your life. And keep me posted. Let me know. Send me a message. I'd love to hear from all of you. Also, if it's something that you're struggling with, that's something I do. Empowerment is my passion. Like I watch movies and I watch those people that, for instance, like they can't express themselves, they can't say what there is for them to say. I want to be like, just say it. Empowering people to bring in that inner power, because we all have inner power. Every single one of us does. There's just some block there that's not allowing you to open up that throat chakra and say what's there to be said. So if that's something you're looking for, you're looking to take your health and well-being to the next level because it's the new year, right? Go ahead and reach out to me. I have various packages available at this point of all kinds, whether it's emotional healing, energy healing, or coaching, whatever that looks like for you and resonates with you. Send me a message and we can have a chat. I provide free consultations so that way we can see if we're a good fit and what would be best for you. So thank you all so much for joining me on my Wednesday Wisdom and Wellness, and hope you all have a wonderful plan A, best case scenario, rest of the week. Bye.